Hello, everybody, and welcome to this latest edition of the update from Senior Pastors of Horizon Church. This is Dave,
This is Judith.
or better known to people at Horizon, how is Judith managing to survive lockdown with his bad jokes? As you can see, still alive, we're still in lockdown together.
And still thriving, I say, every time. Good to see you, good to be here this afternoon, or it's this afternoon when we're speaking this time, so I don't know when you're going to hear this, but there we go. Yeah, just got a few little thoughts that I think are important for us, and I hope will be an encouragement. Just going to read to you a couple of verses from Genesis chapter 16, and the background is simply this. It's Sarah, she was called Sarai at the time, but Sarah and Abraham couldn't have children, so Abraham had a child by his wife's maidservant Hagar, and that caused all sorts of problems. So they she was being ill-treated by Sarah, and Hagar ran for it, and terribly dysfunctional family it was at that time. But in Genesis chapter 16, from verse 7, it says this, that the angel of the Lord found Hagar near a spring in the desert. It was the spring that is beside the road to Shur. And he said, Hagar, servant of Sarah, where have you come from, and where are you going? I am running away from my mistress Sarah, she answered. Then the angel of the Lord told her, go back to your mistress and submit to her. The angel added, I will so increase your descendants that they will be too numerous to count. It goes on a little bit about that, but then over in verse 16, in verse 13, having had that encounter with the Lord, she gave this name to the Lord who spoke to her. You are the Lord who sees me, for she said, I have now seen the one who sees me. You know, the nature of the accounts and stories in the Bible sometimes are quite hairy. They make EastEnders look like Blue Peter sometimes. It really can be quite rough. And the behaviour of people, even people that God used, isn't always brilliant. But the grace of God, despite that, has reached those people. And in this case, God's grace reached out to this lady. She fled from being mistreated by her mistress. She ran from a dysfunctional home. She was pregnant, and she found herself out in the wilderness, in the desert, all alone. Bit of social isolation, I suppose you'd call it these days. But God found her, and he found her in that situation. He reached out to her, he spoke into her life, and he gave her hope, and he changed the course of her life around. And when he did that, it says there that Hagar, this lady, had a revelation, and she said, you are the God who sees me. And the thing I wanted to really emphasize today is this, that whatever your situation, whatever you're going through, whatever your family situation, whatever your personal circumstances, you are not alone, because God is the God who sees you. He sees you because he loves you. He sees you because he wants to put your life into perspective, and the situation that you're in perspective. You're the God who sees me. And you know, whoever you are and whatever your situation, you need to know that God sees you, that you are known, seen, known and loved by him. And she said, I have now seen the one who sees me. The beautiful thing is that not only God sees us, but he actually wants to get our attention in our lives so that we see him in the situation that we're in, and we know that we're not facing it alone. There's another account over in John chapter 1, when Jesus was calling the disciples. He called a disciple called Nathaniel. He's sometimes called Bartholomew. He had two names, greedy. But he was called Nathaniel. And he went to Jesus, and in verses 47 and 48 of John chapter 1, we see there that Jesus spoke to him and said, I know you because you're a man without malice or guile, And he said, well, how do you know me? He said, well, I saw you when you were sitting under the tree. And he had seen him. And from that time on, Nathanael not only knew that God had seen him, but Jesus promised him that you're going to see even greater things than these. You see, Nathanael responded to the fact that Jesus had seen him. He followed him. And from that time on, he saw greater things. And I just want to say that we need to know that Jesus sees us, that God sees us. He's vitally interested in us. And I don't think it's it's not an accident. It's not a coincidence that you're hearing this today. Some people, you need to know that Jesus loves us, sees us, and wants to reach us in our lives. And the wonderful thing is that when we become aware that he sees us, he gives us the ability to see him and life in a whole different way. So God is vitally interested and loves you. And there's also a challenge for each one of us who know Jesus to be his eyes, to see and to reach people for him. We can receive and live in a new way of seeing through faith in Jesus. And don't know who's watching this, loads of people can be watching this, but if you want to know about what it is to be aware of, to know Jesus in a personal way, you can always email dave@horizonchurchsutton.org. Love to tell you more, love to help you with that. And for each one of our folks, you guys in Horizon, those of you who love the Lord, don't be discouraged over this time, but know that whatever you are going through, sitting in the desert, in social isolation, he sees you, and you can know the God who sees you.
Great. Just to let you into a little new rule I've got. When we're out walking or shopping and things and we see people, he starts talking to them. And you know him. Not long into the conversation, jokes start, okay? I've got a new rule. If he tells two of his jokes within 45 seconds of each other, I say, this conversation is over, and I extract him out of the situation. So I'm sorry, this man's telling too many jokes. They're coming so frequently now. I need to relieve you of that suffering. So,
I just think some people are far too serious, frankly, but there we are.
Oh my word. And when you hear the same joke over and over again, oh, that's the clock. Great.
Yeah,
okay,
but recycling's good, isn't it?
Yes, dear. Right, just a couple of things from me today. First of all, just want to review how you're doing, because on the previous sessions we've had together, our updates, we've talked about getting a routine, filling your mind with good things, worship, and the things that you watch on TV and social media, etc. Making a list of things you need to do while you're in isolation. How are you getting on with your lists? Have you got any ticked off yet? Time for yourself, maybe doing some crazy intentional stuff to generate memories for the lockdown.
Tim Manley made cakes.
Well, that's crazy. Right.
It's good.
It's good. It's good. Hazel, are you okay? Have you eaten these cakes?
Oh, done.
Then we talked finally last time about will writing, and I wonder whether that's got your thoughts in motion and whether you've actually done anything about it, because thoughts are no good. They need something written down and signed. But today I want to just cover a couple of things. One is, I know some of you at home, you can't go out shopping and you can't go to the shops you want. You've been doing some shopping online. Nothing wrong with that. But if you shop via Amazon, I hope you are using Amazon Smile. And if you register with Amazon Smile as Horizon as your charity, we get a little bit in the pound, a very few pennies, but it adds up. So wherever you're doing any shopping, make sure you register with that, and make sure you order through the Amazon Smile website, not your normal Amazon website. You can still use Prime. It's still exactly the same, except you're saying, I'm making this purchase, and whatever donation Amazon wants to make to Horizon, it will come straight to us. So, you know, if you're thinking, oh, I'm spending all this money on Amazon, make sure you do it through Amazon Smile, and then you're giving to Horizon as well at no cost to you. How good is that? And then the second thing I want to just mention is, today about in social isolation. We need to intentionally connect with one another. Probably be a little bit more intentional on that. So I want to challenge you this coming week to call a friend or FaceTime a friend who knows God and pray over the phone together for each other, the current situation. Pray for our government for wisdom, because they need a lot of wisdom about the unlocking and whether to, how to match that up with the risk of a second outbreak. And the prayer requests we sent out on Sunday after Sunday service of Horizon. So I challenge you, be intentionally connected this week. Phone someone in the church or a friend outside, a Christian that you know you can pray together, and over the phone or over FaceTime, pray for those things. That would be really good. We're really delighted that the pastoral care for our Horizon people is being conducted and delivered through life groups, and I hope you're enjoying your life groups, even though we can't meet together. But we want to stay in touch with you. We do that by this weekly video, but the trouble is, you see us, but we don't see you. So we I know the life group's doing a great job and they're looking after you, but we're missing you. I mean, we'd like you to drop us a text if you've got our mobiles, or an email, judith@horizonchurchsutton.org or dave@horizonchurchsutton.org, and just give us a little bit, or an essay if you like, if you've got that much time. How you doing? Are you okay? Family members, etc. Give us a little update just to let us know what you're doing. Please don't expect to reply though to everyone. We just want to know. We want to see, as you were talking about today, we want to see you through your emails or texts. But also, shepherds do love to see their sheep, and they need to see their sheep. So if you've got Zoom and you want to join in with a Zoom call with us, then please can you text us or email us, get in touch with us, and we'll let you know when we're having Zoom times, and then I'll send you the link to those, and then you can come on the Zoom call and we can actually see you and chat. It was great today. We went out shopping and we met someone from church. That's fantastic. But it'd be just nice to see your lovely little faces, because we miss you all so much, and we don't know how long this is going to go on for. So let's do that this time. Let's make sure you're buying through Amazon Smile, and also being intentionally connected. Pray with someone over the phone or FaceTime this week. Call them up, and then send us a little message to say how you're doing, what's happening in your world, and then if you want to be on a Zoom call with us, and maybe some others, we'll all sit in the waiting room and I'll let them in, that will be fantastic, because we just love to see your little faces.
Real faces are better than screen faces, but screen faces are better than no faces. So
Absolutely.
It'll be lovely to see you.
So there you go.
God bless.
Have a good week. See you at church on Sunday.
Yeah, and
Our associate pastor Wesley Maynard is speaking, probably an appearance by his dog as well, but who knows.
And you notice how tidy his kitchen is?
Yeah, awesome.
Well, that end of it is anyway.
We're not zooming from my kitchen, I'll tell you now. Okay.
God bless.
See ya.
Bye.
Love you all. Bye.